I have a lot to say on this one, but okay. Okay. Another. Okay. America is God's new Israel, and the borders are always supposed to be open so that anyone searching for God and heaven, which is the pursuit of life, liberty, and happiness, can reach their dreams of that. But another thing is sometimes our borders do need to be closed because I don't know what's going on with the American president. I don't know. There are things that the American president and the military and everything else, even if I am in the military, do not tell me or you. And we have got to have faith in the ordained God of America, which in the Bible it says that God ordains anybody that owns a country as God on the planet. It's kind of like, okay, when you get a country, if you're an anarchist, say, and then it builds up into a country, the leader of that country is ordained by God, if they serve God, to be God. I know it's kind of strange because they're serving God, but they are serving as God in God's place on earth. So you have to have faith in your president. I love the American president. I love every president in the UN that is on our team. Every leader that is in the UN on our team, I love them just as much as I would love a god. I worship them as if they are gods. How do I worship them? I give them thanks. Like right now, I am giving them thanks. I am praising them. Whatever they do, some of it is none of my business. So when I'm like, fuck, they should open up the borders. We're the new Israel. What the fuck are they doing? I'm not talking shit. I'm just like, man, what are they doing? I don't know what the fuck they're doing. But it's none of my fucking business if they can't tell me because it's classified in some way, or they don't want to create a pandemic of people just freaking out because of the things that are going on. Would you protect your people from something if you could just say a few words and they would freak out, really just start freaking out? Maybe the borders are closed for a reason. And I'm not going to question it, but I'm going to question it. I'll probably talk shit about it. But anyways, okay. Okay. The American dream is heaven. It really is. Life, the pursuit of happiness, life, and liberty. You know, to be what you want to be, to have the freedom of walking down the street without being stopped by the police every fucking time, you know, there's something going on. They're not allowed to do that. It's supposed to be that you could travel without being, you know, stopped all the time and harassed by the police. What's in your car? What's in your pockets? What are you doing? But they changed the rules somehow just for people like me because I'm such a fucking hoodlum, huh? But I'm not. Fuck. I'm, I was. I'm so much of a square sometimes. It's crazy, you know. And they still stop me. What do people say? Mark gets out of prison and then he just goes right back to prison. Why? Or do they just double me up and be like they do everybody else? Everybody I know is replaced. I don't know what's going on there. I'm making these things so I can reach out and tell everybody, fuck, some shit's really going on. And this shit that's really going on is people have been replaced. They replaced them with people that not wear masks, but they put on like movie grade magic makeup, you know what I mean? And then they look like the people that I once knew, or they look like new people I've never seen, and they're taking over. And that's what happened in Lewis County. But the cops, I know it was the Centralia Police Department, made somebody look like my brother, went into my sister's house, stole my phone, and replaced it with another phone because I put a name that I wanted to give myself a long time ago. I wrote out a change of name to put my change of name in a docket. What do you call it? Blank docket form. And it's Jason McNeil. I wanted to be named Jason McNeil. And on that phone, I had Jason McNeil. And they stole it. But they put Mark Silva on there. And when I tried to go report it to the Centralia Police, they just fucking harassed me. Well, first they didn't talk to me at all, and then they harassed me over and over again until I had to go to Western State. They put me in Western State because they didn't have enough evidence to convict me. They lie about everything over there. They are domestic terrorists. I just keep coming back to that. Okay, anyways, the walls in the Old Testament are talking about the caliber of the people that protect the new Israel nation. The militaries protect the people, the Constitution, the Bill of Rights, and do it with honor, valor, and bravery. In God we trust. In God, for God, by God. We the military and government workers are supposed to be the caliber of the walls that surround the new Israel, protecting the chosen people. To our people, we are archangels, and to our enemies, we are savage demons. Truly, we are both from. We are both from being truly we are both from being born in the USA, which is God's country, heaven. From a fall to a rise, we are everything in between. Hoorah! Plus, we, the people, are all Jews ordained by God through the graph of faith in God that He has a plan to bring us all to heaven. America is supposed to be God's kingdom, and the president is God incarnate. And that is true, God incarnate. Ordained by God to be God, chosen by God, anointed, the Messiah. That's what Messiah means. It means chosen. It means anointed. Jesus, definitely chosen. Anointed, Messiah. Satan, oh, definitely chosen. He was even taught by God in the Old Testament, talked about it all the time. Taught by God. When Satan came down to earth, he taught the women that he thought was so beautiful, he taught them how to eat meat, which made their brains grow, in an physical evolution way, and made them smarter. He never went down to the earth and messed with men. He went to the women. They were so beautiful to him that he went down and had sex with them, with a few other angels, his horde of angels. Nowhere in the Bible does it ever say that Satan is gay. So it's crazy that people say he is. And another thing is, well, never mind. Oh, yes. Satan, everything they say Satan is, all those lying, conniving, rapist, liar, thief, and all those things, those are the things that he corrects, not the things he is. The American president is God, Satan, Jesus, the Holy Spirit, and themselves, the true God of the world. At least that is what it says in prophecy. The American president is the true evilest Godhead. I am just a slave, and they are my master, teacher, and God, the Father, or the Mother, depending on who is the president. But there is always God the Father and God the Mother, because the president and their spouse. And always in America, the president always has a spouse. Well, now, if the borders are really closed for some reason, then we have the wrong president and something is going wrong. Actually, it could be true. It could be true that we do have the wrong president if the borders are closed, and working through that. Israel, even though it's supposed to have, the new Israel will be 1,000 years of peace, at some point, the 1,000 years of peace will come. It will be brought on by the new Israel. Okay. The American president is okay. Depending on who is the president, but they're always God, the Father, okay, spouse. If the borders are really closed for some reason, then we have the government president and something is wrong. We have to find the prophecy that talks about it to beat the enemy, because prophecy gives us a heads up of the future so we can win and be open to saving the world and open the borders. We are the chosen. All of us are the chosen too. Anybody that flocks to America, that comes to America and are immigrants, they are the chosen too. That's what some people don't get, is that they are the chosen too. Let's see here. Hold on a second. I forgot what. And you don't even really have to even believe in God to know that it is still the new Israel. It is it's going to be the leading country. I mean, if we can keep the Constitution, but everywhere I've went for a long, long fucking time hasn't kept the Constitution. Hasn't kept it in mind, hasn't used it. They don't give a fuck about America. You know where America lives for me? It lives right here in my heart. That's in my mind too, everything that I still can remember, I try to remember, but everybody knows that the Constitution, certain rights remain, but they just step all over the community. They step all over people. They don't give a fuck about those rights. And that's why America seems like it's dying. But we're not dying. You just haven't seen us. You can look me straight in my face and not know I'm an American, huh? Because what they do is they just criminalize everybody. Well, he's a criminal now. He'll never get out of the country, and he's trapped. And we'll use him now for whatever we like, because nobody will believe Mark Allen Silva. He won't even believe Mark Allen Silva, United States Marine Corps Special Forces Military Police, because that was crazy. And ICE, a person that's set in a position for almost their entire life or their entire life, sometimes never coming out of ICE status. They wouldn't even told me I was in ICE if I wasn't coming out of ICE status. One day I'll be fully out of ICE status. But if they give me a job, it'll probably be in the FBI. And I'm taking down every fucking domestic terrorist in United States of America, plus, because we have a lot of providences too, mostly in Africa, I think. Guam, Africa, some countries in Africa. There is a couple thousand. I don't know how many countries in the world, but there's a lot of countries in the world. Little countries, big countries. Anyways, the American president. Okay, if the borders are okay. Okay, well, that first evilism book that I wrote had some things in that seem so far-fetched that people teased me about it some places I went. But those far-fetched things are absolutely true. In fact, they are within America now. God is using the hand and reaching into every single person's mind in the country. It's not an extrasensory perception. Yes, it is. I don't know why they put it like that. It is an extrasensory perception. It is, even with God. Even if you say, well, God's reading our minds. Well, he has a ESP. Yes, he does. But do I believe in God? I believe that God hasn't talked to us for a very long time. He was teaching Satan. And it's in the Old Testament how he taught Satan. God gave free will to everybody. Hey, everybody have free will. And then Satan's in charge. He was the first, and then came Jesus. Jesus was not the first son. Jesus was the second son. And he said the only one made known to us, his only begotten son. Now, okay, here's another thing. For a long time, they have been switching the words of any Bible that I have. It has different words than everybody else because they're mocking me. Because before I talked about a lot of this, you have to keep your doctrines straightforward, and every word that your doctrine had in it at the beginning should have it in now. Even if you translate, you better make sure damn well that your doctrine doesn't change from something in that language when you switch it over to something in that language, that it changes totally. I am a fan of keeping every doctrine. If I found a Satan doctrine, I would keep it and I would read it. If I found Christian doctrines, keep them, read them. If I found Muslim, if I found voodoo, if I found native, any ones that I feel that I look at them, oh, they're definitely real, I would keep them in a safe place. Even ones that I thought were my enemy, because it is good to know your enemy. And when everybody else is looking in at you and you are either learning about your enemy or you're learning about your friend, it's none of their fucking business. Get off my back, bitch. I'm doing something for the world. I'm supposed to be the best one day. Don't you think I know what I'm doing? Oh, it looks so bad. You're doing this and that. Yeah, I know. Big things is drugs. Well, maybe that's part of my religion, you fuck-faced faggots. Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to call anybody that was gay faggots. But fuck you, faggots. I'm not saying that you're gay. I'm saying that you're just a fucking punk ass bitch. Because you don't know what I'm doing. I could be saving the motherfucking world or something. Shit. Okay, into every single person's mind. Okay. That is just what the rest of the world believes. Okay, the rest of the world, I don't know. Somebody redid my writing on here, okay? I went to Western State and I thought they were friends maybe, but they're not. Obviously, Western State are just not my friends either. Well, fuck, dude. Nobody seems to be my friend. And I bought a phone today and I know they overcharged me at Walmart. Well, I'm just a stupid fuck, huh? Fuck, you guys know better than me. I'm just a stupid fuck. Anyways, everything that you see in sci-fi movies and read about in books is true. The awesome things, the beautiful things, and the most evilest things, and that is the problem. There are some movies and books that get blacklisted, and then there are some that are erased, like they never existed, along with the people who tried to publish. But because the minds of the masses can't wrap their minds around it. Yes, you can wrap your minds around it. Okay. That is why they take away the stuff that is written. I mean, there's some things in the government I haven't even mentioned that, yeah, you can wrap your mind around it. And they're like, don't put that out there. They'll start to know that we're actually doing that. When ESPT is extrasensory perception technology. And when I was a kid, they entered into my mind. It started controlling me as a kid. They do it to kids still. Last time I was in Chehalis, they came to me through ESPT and showed me some things. And then they said, Mark, I'm sorry, the government was doing really bad things in the 80s. And you were one of the children that they did really bad things to. And what did they do to me? I got 14 years of abuse. And the abuse was they beat me almost every single day, really bad. Like I was a grown man from it started at 2, just a little bit, and then at 4, every single day, almost every single day. Maybe 7 days in a week. 7 days in a year they left out. And when I take a bath, they drown me in the tub. This was just the ESPT used Matt Bates. They used it on Matt Bates, and that's what he did. He already had it in him that he was beating me. And then when they got to me, because I'm an ice, they made it go worse. So they did so many bad things to me. They taught me about sex really bad. They made me fuck animals. They made me have sex with my sister. They made me masturbate continually. Just gross stuff. It was just, that's what the government does. That's what ESPT does. That's why I'm supposed to be the giver of the light, which is, Lucifer. Yes, seated at the right hand of the Father. Right. Who's the right hand of the Father? It's Jesus now. So Jesus is Lucifer, of course. But Jesus knows the totality of both parts, the evil and the righteous. And so did Satan. Satan knows both too. And Satan, I will tell you that after 2,000 years of being taught, but he was taught more like, 5,000 years or more? 10,000 years? He is now God. They take turns, Yahweh was God and now it's Satan. I really believe that. And all of it is one side. But what the government did to me and other people like me, they said they were sorry and it wouldn't happen again. And then I tried to go to a military base. I asked Chehalis police to take me, and they dropped me off in Centralia. I went up to the post at the armory in Centralia, and I reported all the things that was happening to me in Centralia, or I tried to knock on the door. They just fucking ignored me. The flag up there is faded. Everybody disappeared, and now they are replaced by people. Now I sound super crazy, you see? And then people that don't believe me, well, you just failed as much as I fucking failed, I guess. But I didn't fail. I've never failed. Not for you guys, not for the community. I tried really hard, and if I did fail, I fucking got right back up on my feet. It's called a bounce. My life's a game only because people made it a game, but you keep laughing about everything that's happening. But 14 years of abuse, they abused me with this tech, ESPT, extrasensory perception technology. Matt is the guy that beat me, my stepdad, Matt. He's not guilty. The ESPT people are. They told me the whole story already, and I was supposed to go to an army base and say, hey, we got a problem here, and it's a hot zone in Lewis County. But fuck, where am I right now? Not reporting a hot zone. Where am I right now? Stuck at this house right here. And I'm wondering, oh, fuck, dude, when are they just going to fucking replace me or take me back to a mental institution and all that shit? It sucks that I have to live a life where I'm innocent and I still got to serve time because nobody will fucking believe me about ESPT, but it's here. Let's move forward. It's so important for Christians to read demonology, the Satanist Bible, and other doctrines. In my lifetime, I heard about this serial killer that was writing all these composition books that were full of Satanist teachings that he wrote while he was murdering people. When that man got the death penalty, families of the victims burned his writings without reading them. That was one of the biggest mistakes they probably made in their lives, because what they should have done is read them to see what true evil looked like, and instead of publishing his manuscripts, they should have took it upon themselves to teach the rest of the community what kind of evil exists, and all the shit they need to watch out for to prevent that evil from manifesting itself in any place. That's what they should have done. You must know who is in league with your enemy too. I talk about young Christian societies and groups in society, but I never once said they were my enemy. I said they are the opposition. That means an opposing factor. Just because someone believes something that opposes your religion does not give you the right to destroy them here in America. In fact, if you attack a religious group like evilism, whether you are doing it through infiltration or the sidelines, it's a federal offense. It's called hate crime. If you don't like the way I say things or my earlier creative writings, well, too fucking bad. The First Amendment is freedom of religion. Evilism is a religion I made myself, and I did it to protect my people, friends, family, and those that like what I'm trying to do, which is bring all who follow me to our heaven on earth that is created through a pro-drug society that regulates every drug on the face of the planet here in America, plus many other things. The sales and regulation of drugs in America at the state level will kill the drug scene that has been around since I was born, but was made long before that. We will have cleaner streets, but we have to also effectively house the homeless. And the way to do that is to throw out all the extensive paperwork and waiting lists and just put them in houses. Be like, okay, give your name here, you can stay in that house, give it for free. You know what funding we should use? The DOC funding. The DOC funding where they give the state $5,000 a month per person that goes to prison. Why don't we just put them in housing and then fence them off and tell the police you can't come in here without a warrant. You can't arrest anybody in these fences, in these houses. They're their domain. You can't put a camera in there either. They can do whatever they want, and they probably, yes, will do drugs in their houses. Who gives a fuck? I bet you the recidivism rate will go way down because those cops can't come in there whether they're guilty or not, and they can't take them to jail. If there's somebody that is truly guilty of something, then yes, they will be arrested. But if they are not guilty of anything or they're doing something in their house that can't be proven, you're not going to get the stuff to convict them because it's against the fucking law.
Get a brand new air conditioning system and do not pay a single penny.
Okay.
Heard me right, guys. If you're anywhere here in the area, we have a spring.
We'll also have cleaner streets, but we have to also effectively house the homeless. Yes, okay. We know the problem. Declare a national emergency and build some places. I have proposed over and over again. Give the homeless housing and do it fast. When it becomes an emergency, have the military come in and do my blueprints, all of them. I want a 30% more housing accommodations than is expected in every single place that has even one homeless person. Give them the housing for free. There's a fund that is used for Department of Corrections that should be used for housing the homeless. Crime will disappear if you take everything that I have made since my 20s and implement it using that funding. The reason a lot of people in prison are in prison anyway is because they either do crime out of necessity to survive or they commit crime to get drugs. But if drugs were regulated, but also they use wrongful prosecution and say that somebody was guilty of something, but it was a misdemeanor, right? Sometimes the prosecutor will say it's a felony and then pressure them, say, yeah, you did do that. But there's because they've done this to me before, like, no damage on a second degree malicious mischief, no damage at all, but giving me a second degree malicious mischief that you have to get, over $750 worth of damage, or $1,000, I think maybe it is, or $5,000 even, and a disruption to the whole scheme of things in the system of a working city. But I never did any of that shit. But they forced me into pleading guilty. Of course, that's what they do. And nobody was there to help me. Nobody, not even my lawyer. My lawyer helped them. Good. Okay. Then the street dealers will not be able to. Okay. But if drugs were regulated in shops ran by the police or other people authorized dealers, then the street dealers will not be able to compete with the shops. And just like with the marijuana street dealers, when the authorized shops open up, the dealers won't be able to afford it. Then children can't get drugs. Sex trafficking can't be trading for drugs, and there will be no more crime that is done for drugs. There is a bit of a problem with the states that have Department of Corrections as running businesses, because they get $5,000 per person for a government from the government, and they lie about crimes that people are doing at the police level, and then they use wrongful prosecution found in the Prison Litigation Manual Volume 3 to force the innocent into prison sentences. They really do, and they have kept it a secret for over 45 years. This has to stop. We all have to do what all we have to do to make the state go bankrupt is implement all I have wrote. It would make them go crazy, things go crazy, because I would have made a nonprofit monopoly, but it is better than a war on drugs that is really a war on our own people, but not for justice. It's for money, because of the way the justice system is states like Washington work. Let's end the war on our own people now. Join evilism. And evilism is, I wrote a whole bunch of other things, but I have to rewrite the books because somebody just fucked with all my books. Most of the words in there, I don't even know if they just, who wrote them or whatever. I wrote a lot of stuff, and it's just not in there when I go and look back at my books that are online and Amazon. Evilism, first book, and then the Trinity of Love and the God Gate. But the Trinity of Love doesn't even exist to me. The Trinity of Love is the Catholic Trinity. That is what the Trinity of Love is. And I was wrong when I wrote honor, respect, and loyalty. But honor, respect, and loyalty is a must. If you created a group in the beginning, it really is. And if people can't honor you, be loyal to you, and respect you, well, fuck them then. They're your enemy. I am Mark Allen Silva, United States Marine Special Forces military police. I am an archangel to my people. I am a savage demon to the enemy. I am an American soldier. I do not believe in death. There is only life. I strive to live to be the best. I am the best of the best of the best. I am the dark prince of evilism. And that is true. All that stuff is true, except for I'm not a cop. I am not a cop. They keep telling me I'm a cop, but I'm not, because they don't treat me like a cop or anything. And when I tell them, hey, my name's Mark Allen Silva, United States Marine Corps Special Forces military police, they're not on my side. I am not the police. I don't like the police. The police are a bunch of punk ass motherfuckers that ran around and fucking just Jewed everybody out of their life. How's that, huh? We're all Jews and they Jewed us. Fuck the police. I don't like the police. I don't want to be around the police, and they can fucking suck my dick. They did so much hurt and harm to me in my life. I don't even want to associate with them. But if I am really nice and I am a federal fucking agent that is a cop, fine. Otherwise, they can go fucking suck a dick, because I don't like any of them. And I don't want to arrest them, because guess what? I'll never get the chance, because they're lying ass punk motherfuckers, and people need to get in their brain, right? But they won't. They treat me like dog shit, so go fuck yourself. Fuck the police. Two of these. We'll go like this if you would like. We'll go like this if you like. We'll go like this if you like. We'll go like this if you like. Fuck you. Fuck you and fuck the police. Fuck you and fuck the police. Listen, it is legal to buy and do drugs in America already. It really is. If you are buying drugs, it is not illegal. If you are consuming drugs, it is not illegal either. You just have to do it within your own domain. The law enforcement of America are overstepping their bounds, sending confidential informants, or doing surveillance merely on the accusation of drug activity. Drug activity is legal. Giving drugs away for free is legal. Selling drugs is only illegal if it is seen by the police. Otherwise, it is not allowed in court. If someone merely says they seen someone selling drugs, it's not allowed in trial against someone. It really isn't. It's not. The police are not allowed in the housing developments that we make. There are no rules in our developments except do not physically force or hurt anyone else that is housed in the developments. The cops are not allowed in unless they have a warrant. But even then, we give the people in the development 60 minutes notice before they enter, and we will have walls around our housing with ex-cons and ex-military for security that are absolutely loyal to me, the Dark Prince. Yes, I am the Dark Prince. Here's why I'll say why I'm the Dark Prince. I'm a social yin yang prince, because on my dad's side, they're outstanding citizens and most of them are police officers. On my mom's side, they're outstanding citizens too, but they have a mindset like criminals, and some of them really are criminals. But fuck it, that's why I'm a yin yang prince, a social yin yang prince. I'm also a prince for a couple other reasons too, but we'll get to those later. But I'll tell you who I am. A lot. I'll tell you that I am the Dark Prince. I am Mark Allen Silva, the Dark Prince, if anything. Yeah, and I fucking hail Satan most of the time anyway. And I pray to Mary. So who the fuck cares? Fuck yourself. Or fuck off. Okay, what we do in our own domains are protected. And with all the problems with domestic terrorism going on in my lifetime, we need to make sure everyone has their American and God-given rights. When you stay somewhere, if you stay in a jail or in a hospital or something, and they make rules that override the Constitution, they are breaking the law. They are domestic terrorists as well, or they're getting to it. It's a low level, you think? No, they do it to so many people. If you own anything and you fucking write, you just like, fuck, we don't care about the Constitution, you put it in your law or your rule books, you're still breaking the law. You're breaking the law. You are not observing the U.S. Constitution, and you live in the U.S. Don't you understand that? Anyways, if you're an evilist, I love you. And if you're an evilist and you attack me, fuck you. You're not an evilist, all right? I'll say I'm an evilist, but I'm not a cop. But I say I'm a cop all the time because they make me. They use the SPCT and they tell them that. I'm just military. I am military. Am I Marines? Absolutely not. I'm not a Marine. I'm not a cop. I'm not Special Forces. My name is not Mark Allen Silva. So who am I? Who am I? How many times do I have to tell you I'm not? Or how many times do I have to say, fuck, are you guys listening to me? Do you know what's going on in the world? Do you believe me? Are you just passing me off? Things aren't weird anymore. I know they're not weird. You know why? Because they used ESPT, gave me a guide. She told me every fucking damn thing I should ever know. And people come in and they do fucked up shit to me. Like, act like my pen will disappear and I find it under my bed or something. Oh, it must have been under the bed. No, they took it out while I was 5 blocks away and then put it under my bed. I already know that ESPCT, they can shut you down, turn you totally off, and that's why I don't believe in God. I don't believe in God because they just shut me off. They can take whatever out of my pockets and shit when they shut me off. And I'm like, fuck, where did that go or whatever? Yeah. It's not because I'm crazy or I forgot where I put it. It's because they shut me off. And when you shut somebody off, they're just off. That's what happens when we die. We're just off. You know nothing when you die. And I don't believe in God. I don't believe in God. I don't follow the Dalai Lama. I'm not in the Marines. And fuck you. I'm Mark Allen Silva, United States Marine Corps Special Forces. Military police. Fuck off.